Okay, good morning everyone. So in the last tutorial we have already finished almost all the part of the zombie except the hand. So how can we do the hand? Let's isolate the hand and then take a look. So basically, if we take a look of the hand, it was composed by this part, the majority part of your hand, and also 5 fingers. Okay, so well, basically there are several different ways we can do that. We can just sculpting this hand with with your basic geometry and then with typology and make the hand become like something like this. But rather than that, I'd like to use another way. So let's press Shift D, Shift A to create a single mesh cube. Scale them down, move them up. Press S and Z to make this one more flattened. Okay, and then go to the top view. I will move this one back. Probably press S and Y, scale them down. Okay, I'll go to the edit mode. Press Ctrl R to increase more. Probably, I think it's at least 4 or 3 will be quite enough. And also right here, since now we have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, so we need to at least have 4 segments. So Ctrl R, create 4. Okay, just like this. Probably this part is a little bit too much, so I will select the ring selection, select the edge right here, and delete, dissolve edge. Okay. So now we have the segment like this. Let's change it a little bit. Okay, and now next part, try to change the geometries. So press S and Y, make this one more like a T shape. S and Y, like a T shape. And go to the front view. R and Y, rotate a little bit. Press S key. And this part as well. Okay, so now we have the basic hand majority part. So what we okay, we still can do something more. So like this part, we can make more detail. Yes, we can do that later actually, but I would try to do that right now. And press Ctrl 1 to see the subdivision convergence. Now it still looks like a chunk, like a, I don't know, maybe tofu or something, but right now it doesn't look like hand. So first thing I will delete the face right here because we don't need hand for now. So let's delete face. Okay, and then how about the finger part? For the finger part, very easy. So I will using a single cube again. Shift A, cube, and press S key, scaling down. I will finish one finger and copy the rest. Just change the size and change the bending mode. Press S and Z, enlarge. Okay, so now rotate. R and Y rotation is 90 degree. So now let's start to do our finger. Press S3 to take this one down. Ctrl A, apply the transformations. Okay, now go to the edit mode, tab key, Ctrl R. So how many segments we have? We have to take a look about your finger first. So let's go to a solid mode. Basically, in our finger, we have 1 right here, 2 here, and 3 right here. So every finger you have 3 segments, except your thumb. Your thumb, if you conclude this part, but actually this part is including in your hand part. So actually it only has 2. This one, and for the rest, it's combined with your hand. So this part is 3, this part is 2. So we can do this part first. Now let's go to here. First thing, let's redivide this one. Control R. Go to edit mode. Control R for cutting. And every segment, if you remember, we need to add 4 and or 3. So press S and X, scaling down. That's the first segment. And then Control R again, increase 4. And S and X, scaling down. Okay, so now we have the basic finger. Let's press S and X, enlarge this one. And press tab key. And I want to delete the back face right here because we don't need that. Next part, we are going to combine them together. And also, probably in order to combine them together, we can increase more segment right here. But that's another thing. But let's do this one first. Let's Ctrl R, increase more segment, increase this one, and basically I think this part we need one more. Okay, so now let's start to do the sculpting. Ctrl 1 for subdivisions, and then let's start to do the detail. Let's go to the edit mode and go to the vertex mode, and usually I prefer to do that under the vertex mode, so wireframe mode. So let's do the detail sculpting. So let's try to move them more, make them more concentrate, and also let's move them out. Okay, just like this. And also for your finger, this part is supposed to be more bigger, right? And also, in order to make this one more natural, I will bend a little bit. So press R and Y, rotate a little bit, just a little bit, not too much. And also, if you think it is too much, well, you don't have to turn on the proportional editing. R and Y, bend it a little bit. And this part, R and Y, bend it a little bit. Okay, so now it looks fine. Okay, now let's go to the solid mode and take a look. Alright, so basically this part looks fine, but we need to change the top view as well. So for the top view, basically this part is supposed to be smaller. So press S and Y to scale it down a little, just a little bit. And for this one, S and Y, scaling up again, just a little bit. Scaling up in the Y direction, scaling down in the joint. And for this part, I will scale down a little bit. Okay, so now we have the basic shape. Okay, and how about your nail? Very easy. Just go to here. Let's move this one down. Okay, just like this. How about your nail? Very easy. Let's just, sorry, I think we didn't select all of them. Let's do it again. Okay, go to the face, choose the face, and press, let's take a look about nail, okay? So first thing we need to shrink and then extrude more. So very easy. Press E and S for shrink, and you can move this one down. And press E and Z for extrusion, sorry. Undo that. Press E, extrusion for normals, but for now I still want to extrude one more time and scale them down. And then right click, extrude under normals. And probably extrude one more time, extrude along, fetch normals. Okay, so we have the basic shape, but it still doesn't look like that. But so we need to do some little sculpting. Let's go to the front view. Right now it's just like a giant tumor right here. So I will change it. Let's go to the vertex mode. Do some detail sculpting. Sorry. Let's go to wireframe mode. Make sure you can select a big vertex. And for this part, it's supposed to be bigger. And this part is supposed to more close to this area, so that it will look like it was insert into your meat, your muscle, something like that. And for this part, it's too sharp, so weird. Let's move them down. Okay, move them down. Alright, more or less. And for now, let's go to the side view. This part is still a little bit too like a, let's say not like a finger. So let's choose in the edge. Make this one S and Y enlarge. Okay, so now I think it is fine, fairly okay. So if you want to have more detail, we can keep it sculpting right the things right here. Probably I will add one more cut right here because this part it was too close to the detail, so I will change that. Okay, so now we have, and if you want, you can do the detail sculpting right here, like to extrude some detail right here, like right click, extrude normal face, and you can do this kind of detail, make this one more like a finger, but I would just keep like this. Let's go to vertex mode, wireframe mode, and move them down, then up. Okay, so now we have one finger. Let's go to the top view and go to the shading mode. So since we already have this one, so next part we are going to combine them together. So let's move this one, make this one bigger, S and Y. Enlarge this one. Okay, and also because the things we are going to do is to make this part can join this area. So we need to make sure that they have the same typology. So let's go to here, Control Y, increase one more segment. Okay, and also I think now we have this one here, we can connect to this part, and this one can connect to here, but for every segment I think we need two more. Okay, two more. So let's choose them. Shift and auto key, Control B for bevel. Sorry, let's just using Control R will be easier. Control R for two more. Alright, that's okay. Control B for bevel, and Control R one more time. So this is for one fingers. Let's select them, move them here. This is for one finger. Okay, one finger here. And basically we don't need to keep another face in different finger. Let's take a look right here. We don't need to keep that. So here's one, and here's another one, and one more here. Control R for cutting. One more here, and one more here. Okay. So basically now we have. So next part, I would do the copy stuff first. So for this is the finger 1 and finger 2, finger 3 and finger 4. And basically for the following part, I'd like to first thing let's press S and Y, make the finger thinner. Probably let's redo that again. Make this one fit our model. And we can adjust the shape later, but so that's okay. Shift the D, shift the D. Okay, just like this. And in order to make our model be better for reading, so I will rotate and separate the finger. So rotate a little bit. Okay, and for this one, R and Z, rotate a little bit. R and Z, rotate a little bit. R and Z, rotate a little bit. Okay, and now it's time to change the length. So the longest part is supposed to be this guy, and the second one probably is right here, the third one is here, so let's change that. Let's go to here, press S and X, scrolling down. S and XX, sorry, S and YY, oh no, S and ZZ, scrolling down. And for this one, S and ZZ, scrolling down. And this one's supposed to be the smaller one, so S and ZZ. Okay, just like this. And also we can change the shape as well. But actually we don't need to do that, but if you just want to have a perfect shape, we can do that for now. Let's do this, change a little bit about the hand part first. Let's go to here and move this one down. Actually, I think right now, right here, we need one more segment because that's the middle part. Okay, let's just do this. Let's rotate a little bit, just a little bit. So move this one down, and this one, R and Y, rotate a little bit. And for this one, front view, R and Y, a little bit. And for this one, R and Y. Okay, just like this. Let's go to here, take a look. Fairly okay, so now let's join them and combine them together. I would delete the face. Start one by one, otherwise it will mess up. Let's delete the face right here. Go to the wireframe mode, delete the face. Okay, and now let's go to here, select mode, and Ctrl J for join. Okay, so now they are one. And next part, let's try to combine them together. And very easy, just choosing the vertex, press M key, and merge at center. M key, merge, at center. And one last one. And the last one, well, it was hidden by this guy, so let's hide them. Tab key. Okay, so now let's go to solid mode. We have the first finger. For the rest part, it's the same thing, so I will not show all the process for you. So please try to do by yourself, and I will show you the result, and then let's finish the zomp. Copy one more. That's the first zomp. Just try to speed up everything. So for the rest part, please try to do by yourself. Okay. Okay, so once you've connect all the finger to your majority part, well, it will look like this. And for sure, we still can do some adjustment. Like this part is supposed to be smaller, the nail is supposed to be smaller, and also you can change a little bit about the shape of your hand, of your finger, and also still right here it doesn't look right because this part is still too sharp, so we can do some change. But anyway, that's the basic shape. Once you finish the basic shape, the rest part will be way more easier compared to before. So the next part we are going to finish the zone. The zone part, it's not that hard at all because this part, we already have the basis, so the only thing we need to do is to follow based on this basis and to finish the zone. So let's press R and Y, X to rotate. R and X for rotations, and probably R and Y for rotation more. Something like this. And I want to make this one bigger, so SZZ, sorry, SYY. Makes one bigger and fat. Looks more stronger. Okay, so basically the shape is right here, supposed to be here, and just like what we say, the zone only has 1, 2. If you count this one, it was 3, but usually this part is part of your hand skeleton, so we don't count this part. But anyway, when we are going to do the merge, I would delete this one and connect to here. So that's the things we're going to do. Okay, or if you want, let's just make this one shorter so it will be okay. We don't need to delete that. So let's choose in the edge right here and move them inside. Okay, it will be easier. And also, we can choose in the things right here and make this one longer. This part as well, and longer. Or press SCZ and make this one longer. And this part is supposed to be stronger, so let's make them bigger. Okay, so now we have. Let's go to the top view and take a look. Let's move this one back and then press R and Z rotations. Okay, so now it has the basic shape, but it looks weird because this part rotates too much. So let's press RZ for rotation back. And this part probably we can make this one more smaller. Let's choose the edge right here. Go to the top view. This is only about, there's nothing special right here. It's only about the shape and the geometry of your zone. So don't, the only thing you need to do is manually shaping. So don't worry too much. You can do that by yourself. Go to the front view and take a look. Okay, so now it looks fine. So now that I'm going to combine them together, and you can choose to I think it's better to combine them right here in the right position. So let's hide them and delete the face right here. Choose the face right here. Delete the face. Don't forget to save your file, otherwise sometimes you will crash. And show up these guys again. And we need to choosing carefully because okay, I think probably we can cut these two segments. So let's choose in the face right here. Let's just choose in Shift and Control. Oh no, it doesn't work. Right, that's okay. Let's just manually delete the face. If we need more, we can increase later, but that for now I want to delete. It's better for us to merge the vertex. Alright, so now let's join them. Ctrl J for join, and then go to edit mode, choose in the vertex, start to do a combination. So this point is supposed to be here, merge at center, and this part is supposed to be here, like this one. And merge at center. And for this part, how can we do that? Let's just go to wireframe mode. And you might think, oh, okay, but they are totally intersected. How can we do that? Solve that? That's okay, it doesn't matter, because once they join together, we can fix that later. So let's choose in land and merge, M key, measure center. Alright, so this kind of intersegment, just move them out. Turn off the proportional editing, move them out. Okay, yeah, alright, this part, also we need to fix that. Okay, so now we have the basic geometries of your of a hand. So for the next part, we are going to do the detail sculpting, like to do the adjustment and also some little, just very little detail to make your hand looks more natural. Like this part supposed to be bigger, and also the thumb, this area is supposed to be stronger, right? That's the shape of the thumb. And also right here, that's something wrong because we don't have enough vertex right here, so we need to fix that. Let's take a look. But right here we have the merge line at center. Okay, so that's the basic shape, but right now the next part the things we are going to do is to change a little bit about the typology here. I think it will this one will be better than the last reference before. Okay, So let's keep moving. Okay. Put them in the right positions, and then we can start to do the change. So once you connect the thumb and the major part of your hand, it's time to do the adjustment about your shape, the little detail of your hand. The first thing is, as far as you can see, your hand still looks very cubic. This part is too sharp, looks like a box. So we need to do some change. Then for the rest of the part is more about the typologies, and also it's more about the details. Alright, so first things, let's go to edit mode, choosing the vertex right here, move them out. And for sure that for this part it's the same things, move them out. Okay, make this one more like an organic object. And let's go to the top view. So right now it looks fairly okay, but this part probably we need to move them inside. And if you're not that familiar with the shape of hand, you can try to find some reference to help you. When we are working on 3D model, don't be afraid to find reference because uh, unless you are the master of the human anatomy, otherwise it's almost impossible for you to remember all the shape and all the detail by yourself. Press S and Z to scale down a little bit of this area. Okay, now let's go to solid mode. And probably our finger is a little bit too thin, and also the nail is too long, so I want to change that. Hold on your Shift and Control key, do the ring selections, and I want to do all at once, so let's select all of them. Okay, just like this. And if you remember, and also for the thumb, that's the same things. So, okay, forward. Okay, so and if you remember, this part is a joint, of the finger. So probably we have to adjust the proportion of the the location of the joint. The first thing is that you do the first segment. This is the first one. So actually we should need add on one more segment right here, but we can do that later. And for this part, let's do that. Let's leave the scale down, move a little bit. Okay, so now let's do the third one. The third one's supposed to be here because when we are going to do a join, we ignore this area. So now it's time to bring that back. I think we can leave more space in the first segment, so let's move this one forward. Okay, so now let's Control R, 1, 2, 3, and press S and leave the scale down. This one as well. Control R and S leave the Control R, S leave the. Okay, and now let's try the adjustment, the proportion. This is here, and the things in the joint in the middle is right here. Okay, now let's take a look on the side view. It looks fine, but I think our finger is supposed to be more fat. So hold on your Shift and Alt key for selection and press the S key for scaling up. Moving down and probably turn on the proportion editing. Scale up in every direction. So right now let's take a look about the lump. Right here there's supposed to be has a muscle. And this part actually, let's go to the button view. So right here, let's take a look. For the button view, right, this part actually is supposed to has, let's say, a ring muscle. So, but when we are working on the typology, we just directly merge them together. So now I'm going to change that. So let's take a look. How can we change that? Basically, the hand is supposed to completely follow the typology of your hand. So I will choose in the zone first. Okay, choosing all of them. Move this one to here, and for this part, probably need to enlarge a little bit, expand more fat. Okay, and this one, well, it will connect to our arm. So right here, I'm going to do the ring selections and extrude one more, E and XX, just like this. Okay, and for this part, since now we have the arm part, I will do a ring selection right here. Ctrl B for bevel. Okay, to create a more obvious gape right here. Choosing the vertex, freeze out. And also right here, okay, I think that's okay. So basically, right here, there's supposed to have a segment that allow us to bend our arm, our hand. So I will choose the edge right here and Control B for bevel, but create 3 segments, just like this. Okay, but this one is not continuous. This is okay. In order to make this one work, it's better for us to make this part become a triangle, because this part I think is right now it's a 5-side component. So let's try to merge them together and make them become a triangle. Okay, end up right here, so it will be easier for you to control. And key, sorry, measure and center. Or another way is that you can connect them in the middle using the knife tool. Okay, something like that. And this one. Alright, so now we have. And this part is it's not for shape and geometry, it's only for bending. So this line is supposed to be a continuous line. So let's try to do that again. Go to turn off the subdivisions first, and go to the element, choosing the vertex in the middle, and using your knife tool, cut line in the middle. Okay, and for this one, if you want a better one, probably we can try to make become something like this. It will be more clean compared than before. So choose the edge, press delete the edge. And for this part, let's choose none as well. Delete dissolve edge. Okay, and let's turn on again. Okay, fairly okay. Go to the vertex, choose none, move them inside. Alright, so let's go to the bottom view. So now we have the joint right here. So first thing is that choosing the edge right here, and we don't need to select the upper part, so let's just select the upper part. We don't need that. Move this part inside. Move this part inside. Okay. And for this one as well. Go to the side view, and just select the upper part. Alright, just like this. And probably this part could be, well, based on the shape you want, everyone's hand is a little bit slightly different. So I will change, yeah, just depend on what kind of hand you want to do. So for this part, well, it's supposed to be like this. And for this one, let's remove them inside. And for this part, let's choosing all of them. Okay, so now we have the basic shape. And final part is about to create retouple the geometries of the geometry of the lump. So right here we have a triangle, and this part connects to here. So actually we can try to combine these two together and make them become a ring. So based on this typology, we will keep try to retype this area and make them become a ring, because so that your thumb can move like a ring. So first things, I think we before we start to do that, you can just directly move your thumb, the shape of your thumb, and make this one looks more like a ring, so that you will know how much vertex you are going to move. Okay, probably this part we don't need to do that. So just like this, move that to here. Alright, so now we have. So in order to make this part become a ring-like shape, so first thing, I think we can retype this part. Let's go back to the unsmooth mode, and then go to edit mode. So first thing, let's using the knife tool, and you can turn on the control key or using a the vertex snake. So for this part, let's create a vertex right here, and choosing the edge. Delete, dissolve the edge, and go to the vertex. Let's merge them together. M key, merge and center. So now this part become a ring. Alright, and for this one, let's just do the same. Sorry, let's turn off that. For this part, let's just do the same thing. Let's press M key, merge and center. Okay, so now this part can be weird. Let's redo that again. For this ring, we are going to combine them together, right? So first things, let's delete the ring right here. Delete and dissolve edge. Okay, and now next part. Basically, the only thing we're going to do is join these two vertices together, and it will become a ring. So let's choose in these two, and M key, merge and center. Okay, so now this one become a ring again. Let me draw for you. This part is supposed to be a ring, and this one is a coil mesh, and this one is a coil mesh as well. This one is the same. Okay, so let's turn on the subdivisions and take a look. Alright, so now we have this ring, and we have this ring, and we also have this ring. So basically it can move smoothly. And for this part, well, it was a little bit be weird. Probably, if you want to do that, probably we need to add one more segment right here. So let's press Ctrl R for cutting right here in the middle. Okay, and then what's the next? We need to combine these, reconnect these two to create one more ring right here. But we need to connect this one. Let's draw for you. We are going to connect this one to here and to this side. So that's the things we are going to do. So let's choose in the vertex, M key, merge and center, and M key, merge and center. So now we have this ring. And how about this part? Well, for this one, I can end up right here because it's more like a, let's say more like a, for create the crease, skin crease on your model. So we don't need to make them continuously. So it's choosing the turn off the subject, and then choosing the vertex right here, and turn on again. Okay, just like make them like this. Alright, so now we have the arm. And this part, whoa, getting weird. What's happening right here? I think we can just delete this part because there's nothing special right here. So let's just delete all of them. Delete the face. Delete. We can extrude this area later. I think it's accidentally we'll move this part, but that's okay. We can, this part is easy, so we can do that later. Alright, so now we have the, as far as you can see, this part we have the muscle. So when we bend, this part will increase and change the size. So, well, I think it's better than the reference model since we follow the typology of the real Zomp. Let's move this one down. Try to make this part more strong, much more stronger than before. And we also need to change the shade of it here. Let's go to the side view. Move that up. Okay, move that up, and then press E and X. Okay, so now you can see we have the arm. If you want, if you prefer make your model more precise, you can press S and X, make this one flatten, like that. Okay, nice. Alright, so basically, I think the arm is pretty much finished. I want to make sure this part share smooth, and also probably we can turn off the wireframe and take a look. Okay, this part becomes too sharp because we just created one more segment right here. While the hand part, the bottom part, looks fairly okay, but we still have to adjust the geometry. So let's just do the little work right here. Go to the tab key, select all of them, press R and Z. Okay, and for this part, we'll spend a little bit too much. Okay, cool. So now we have this one, and now let's fix this area. Let's go to solid mode. This part, obviously, we had too many segments, but we need that in the button. So let's just move them to move them apart, not so concentrate. Okay, so this one. This part, yeah, there is supposed to have some crease right here, but not continuous to the top. So let's try to make this part, moving this one down. Okay, something like this. Alright, so we have the middle point, so let's move them down based on the geometry we have. In this part, in the middle, on the center of your finger, they're supposed to be going up. Okay, let's take a look. Fairly okay. And for this part, let's just change a little bit. This part is too sharp. So let's move them inside. Alright. Go through the side view. Very important things, guys. I think some of you may wonder why we don't using sculpting, because probably that's more intuitive. But even for using sculpting tools, when you're going to set animations or when you're going to export them to your game models, well, you still need to do typologies. You still need to understand that what's the good typology and what is the bad typologies. And the principle of the typology is the human anatomy. So that's the things we need to understand, at least the basic one. And also, for now, I think for now the technology is much more advanced. So in the far futures, there is a possibility for us to do the, let's say, the automatically typology. But if you want to have the better result, so far for now, it's still about the manual typology. Okay. Alright, so now this part is bigger than the other part because there is a, well, there is a, there is a bone right here. Actually, it's supposed to be right here. But you can try to do that, but I will just keep it like this, just moving them up a little bit since this part will hidden in the in our clothes. I will create one more cut right here, just in order to control the shape. So now let's take a look. Display, I think it's pretty much down. This part would be better, so let's try to move them down. Edit mode, choosing the face, move them down. And I think I gotta say, the software moves very fast, especially in CGI industries. So the technique which I give you guys probably will be out of date very soon, and that's something we cannot avoid. But some principle is always the same. What's the good typology? You need to understand. And what's the basic shape of your human hand? Well, that's the sense you need to understand. So in this project, I hope you can try to practice by yourself. See the learning process as a process and an experience, not the result. If you are just checking for the result, well, there are too many things you can download. There are too many things you can directly use. But that's not yours, right? It's done by someone else, and also we are just do the copy paste, and also I would say just kind of collage work. So the things I hope you can learn from this tutorial is more about the experience and trying to share the experience and know what's the good modding and bad modding. Okay, so basically it's pretty much done. I will change the shape right here because this part is supposed to be more smooth. So for now it's was too hard. Let's choose in the vertex. Move it here. Let's turn on this one. Okay. I will not make this completely finish this one on the class because it will take too much time to do the little adjustment. So I will leave the rest for you, and I'm going to finish the model for now. So let's do the last part. Turn off this one. This part is too sharp, so that's uninteresting. And by the way, I don't like to using the circle lasso, but if you want, you can try to use circle lasso. Okay, finish. Alright, so let's turn off the wireframe. Looks okay, probably more realistic compared to this guy, since we're just using, oh, this part's too flat. Alright, I will not change anymore. Okay, so once we finish, it's time to combine all of our model, turn on everything. Whoa, this hand is a little bit too big, but well, let's go. It's okay, it's a cartoon style. So let's move it inside, and don't forget to set the origin point to the center. It's better for you to control. Well, a little bit too big, so let's scale it down just a little bit. And we can also change the size of the arm. Choosing a wireframe, 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 and press S key for scaling down here. Okay, go out again. Alright, insert them inside, so make sure they were not going out. maybe bigger. Alright, so for the other side, let's just Ctrl A, apply locations, and Shift D for copy, and then go to here. We just apply the rotation as well, and then apply the, well, just apply all transform, it will be easier. And then move them to the negative X. So now we have all of our models. Let's move this one off, let's move all of them. This part, that's the one which I copied from here, so I will Auto P to clear parent. That's right. For instance, Auto P, clear, and keep transforming, so it will become more clean. And then choose, I will move the reference model to the side. We don't need them anymore. Okay, so basically it has been done. I wipe out all the annotations. It's kind of a long process, so I know it's really annoying, but that's something you have to go through. Alright then, I just fixed that. So basically for now we have already finished this model. Let's take a look, including the clothes. Sorry. We forgot to do the necktie. But for the necktie part, I hope you can do by yourself. It's very easy, just using same logic, same trick, and we can finish that one. Okay, so that's all for today. Please try to finish the model by yourself and including the necktie. Okay, so for the next part, we are going to do the unwrap UV. See you next time.